Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So here in this video we'll be creating this beautiful acrylic painting, and as you can see it's an easy sketch with a very simple background. So I will say this painting is for absolute beginners and those who are just starting with acrylic colors, so it's a good practice. So let's get started with this one. So here I'm working on my acrylic paper, which is 400 GSM, and you can see the sketch now. Right, so here I have prepared the sketch with pencil on my paper. Now you don't have to draw it this dark, but I just wanted everyone to see the sketch nice and proper, so that's why I made it a little darker here. So while I'm arranging my supplies and everything, you can create the sketch. So the lady is going to be in the center of the paper and covering from top to bottom, so there is no space left on the top above that pot or at the base also. Keep equal space from both the sides. Alright, so we'll be needing a color palette, we'll be needing some assorted brushes, a container with full of water, and some acrylic paints. So to start with, I'm just going to place all the colors that I'll be needing for this painting into my color palette, and so that I don't have to jumble again and again in between the painting. So starting with brown color, that is burnt sienna. So that goes first, that is brown color or burnt sienna. Then the next color is yellow ochre, like a light brown color, that we need a little bit, not a lot. The next is a little bit of crimson lake, that's a bright red color. That also we need just a little bit, just a hint of crimson lake in the painting. The major colors that we will be working with are going to be permanent yellow deep and white and lemon yellow. So here goes the white color, we need that a little more quantity. Then is our lemon yellow color, and permanent yellow deep or orange color. We will also need just a little bit of black color. So this is the color palette that we are going to work with. So you can also keep your colors ready, and we'll just quickly start with the sketch now. So just pick up the favorite brush that you love to work with. It could be a flat brush or it could be a round brush. We're just going to start with the pot first, and I am going to work with a flat brush right now because I need those lines and textures of my brush hairs on the pot. So I'm taking a flat brush which is a little harder than the normal brushes that I have. Alright, so we'll start with a little bit of permanent yellow deep, orange color, and we'll start from the sides and the top. Here I'm not taking a lot of water, so the color is not very flowy, it is a little bit thicker on the paper. And then I'm going to mix it with my lemon yellow color in the center so that you get a shade over there. Again, did not wash your brush, just keep on working with one single color so that the brush will hold a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow color both, so it'll be easy for you to blend it. Now for background, I'm just cleaning my brush on the background because it's going to be the same shades. Alright, giving some highlights over there with my burnt sienna color, the brown color. It's going again on the side. It is like a thin line. So as you can see, I still did not wash my brush. So the brush already had a little bit of orange, little bit of yellow. And then I took a little bit of brown color. So it was easy for me to blend it onto the paper. Alright, so next I'm going to pick up another brush because I'll be working with a little bit of white. So I need a fresh brush and just adding a little shine onto the pot in the center and not trying to blend the white over there. So just a little hint of white adds to the shine. Alright, getting back to the permanent yellow deep, the orange color, and coloring it onto the next part. That's going to be the headgear. There also we'll be doing a little bit of blending with the same shades, yellow, orange, and a little bit of brown. Later on I'm going to add a little bit of black also to it, but to start with, just to create the base, it is yellow and orange. So I also added a little bit of white and burnt sienna over there just to highlight that area. Next is we are preparing the dress. So for the skirt, again starting with my permanent yellow deep, and again as you can see I haven't taken any water in the brush. The brush is working dry, and for making the pleats or the effect of the dress I need that kind of dry brush. So while I'm creating that, I'm mixing my colors. I'm juggling between yellow and orange and giving those pleats like effect on the dress. We're going to add a little bit of crimson color here. Still did not wash my brush, working with the same brush which has all the shades and all. Adding a little bit of yellow ochre also. Follow the crease lines that you're preparing on the dress. So it is knotted on one side, so all the lines are meeting over there on that portion, on the corner of that skirt. So just keep on creating the light and dark effect using your yellow, permanent yellow deep, crimson, and a little bit of yellow ochre. Once that all dries up, we're going to add a little bit of white on top of it for creating the shine the way we did for the pot. So start adding a little bit of white and making the sides little lighter as if the light is falling from there on that side. And whenever you work with white color, I will always say prefer a clean brush so that the white doesn't get spoiled up and you get the exact effect that you're looking for. So just work on the same direction of the lines, work towards the pleats, towards the corner, and keep on adding lemon yellow, white, and those colors for creating that effect. So yes, this is how you're going to give the texture of pleats over here. And the skirt is ready. But once it all dries up, we are going to add a little bit of highlight with white color again, but that will happen at the end of the painting. All right, so again, before cleaning my brush, I'm just cleaning it with water. I'm just cleaning it on the paper, because yes, the background is going to be the same shade, so it's not going to affect the painting. All right, so next is I've taken a round brush, a little thinner brush. My brush number is number 3, and I'm going to prepare the color for the skin. So that is burnt sienna plus black. So it's like a coffee brown color that we'll be using for the skin. Uh, so just adjust the amount. It should not look a lot of brown. It should not also at the same time does not look a lot of black. So it's the blackish brown color that we're going to work with, and simply going to fill up the areas over there for the skin, wherever the skin is visible, like the face, neck, hands, and the stomach area. So there's going to be no shading over there. It's just going to be plain that blackish brown color. Right, so this is how it will look like once you're done with that. And once we're ready with the body, we're going to use the same color combination for coloring that little hand that I draw on one side of this lady. So the same combination, black plus brown, and there'll be again no shading for that portion, and we'll just color it. All right, so once we are done with this much, I'm going to take a bigger flat brush. That is my number 10 brush, and I'll start coloring the background with the lemon yellow, orange, and your crimson color. So initially I'm working with these three colors, and later on I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre and brown. So almost all the colors in my palette except for black and white. We'll use a little bit of white though, but not black in the background. So as you can see, I'm working in vertical lines, that is standing lines. I'm moving my brush up and down, and also blending the colors in the same way. So that is what is going to create a beautiful effect or a texture on the background in standing lines. So now as you can see, the background is in three colors right now, starting with lemon yellow, which is close to the lady. It is in the center. Then I'm increasing the tones of the colors. So from yellow, it's blending into orange and to the crimson color towards the end of the paper. So we'll follow this, and we'll keep the sides of the drawing a little bit darker and the center part will be light. So why we're doing that? Because the lady is black, and if we create a lighter area around this figure, the figure will look prominent, and the background will not the background will not affect the main image, and it will not overpower the main image. I wanted to say that. All right, so just keep on working with these three colors. Use them the way you want it. You don't have to follow the same pattern. The quantity of the colors and that can vary as per your liking. I like more yellow, so it's going to be more of a yellow based picture for me. I'll just say don't use a lot of crimson color, because that will actually affect the final effect of the painting. We want it to be subtle and light. All right, so just keep on working with these three colors. One side is ready. I'm going to repeat the same kind of effect on the other side of the painting. So as you can see, the background looks all complete, and the strokes of the brush is in standing motion, it's up and down. So that is what I wanted to achieve. Now for the base portion, I have taken my burnt sienna color and I'm mixing it with my black color directly onto the paper, and I'll be adding a little bit of crimson over there in between anywhere. So it's black, then burnt sienna and crimson for the base of the painting. And as you can see, my brush is going to and fro now, and I don't want any strokes to be visible over there, just the shades. So now you can see this skirt was actually blending with the background, so adding a dark area at the bottom makes the lady stand in front of the painting, in front of the background, as if the main focus is on the lady. So yes, creating a little dark effect at the base, and that's crimson color going on the side, which is going to give you a very beautiful shade of brown over there. Next is this little portion behind the hen, is going to be orange, lemon yellow, and a little bit of crimson red. So that's like a little portion of sandy hills over there. So I'm changing my brush now. I'm taking a round brush, which is number 2, so that I can work near the hen and those little corners that are created by that image. Oh, I'm also adding a little bit of yellow ochre there. Okay, so just blend them. So now again, this blending is going to be random. You're going to get a different kind of effect on your paper. Make sure that the colors, when you use the colors, it should not be a lot watery. I have used very less quantity of water over here, working mainly with the thickest tone of colors. I also did that because I did not wanted to give it another coat. I'm working on a paper. So sometimes what happens is when you're working on a canvas, the canvas absorbs a lot of moisture from the pigment that you're working with. So in that case, you need to add a little more water first, and then you have to create a second layer of colors on top of it just to achieve that shine and everything. Also, um, when you work on a canvas, it is a little bit different than working on a paper. So yes, you will adjust the amount of water required according to the surface that you're working on. All right, so once everything is ready, I am going to pick up some white color and my zero number brush, and I'm going to make those small cute little ornaments that this lady is wearing. Like I'm going to make two hope earrings, a pretty little pearl necklace. There's uh, something over there, like a belt, something on the skirt. So that is what. Also, this top is white color, so we're not going to leave that paper white. We're going to use our acrylic white to paint it plain. There'll be no shading for that. So yes, just completing that effect with white color next. So as you can see that the final effect after using white color is much better and the lady looks complete. So now is the time I'm just going to add a little bit of white color strokes onto the dress. As I said earlier that we're going to use white once the color dries up. So this looks as if the shining part of the dress and adds to the value of the painting. All right, so once we are ready with that, just a final touches here and there if it is needed. And then I'm going to work with my brownish black color and I'm going to highlight that pot and just to make it look more prominent and curvy. So adding that dark effect on the sides of the pot, as you can see that right now the pot looks all blended with the background. So for making it pop out a little bit, just creating those dark effect on the sides of the pot with that. Also the brush is number 2, so it's a thin brush. And again I am working with very less water over there. So now the color of the pot is all dried up. So there's no question about how we're going to mix it or is it going to mix by itself. So what you're going to do is when you're working with that brown color, you just give it an outline, a thicker outline, and use a little bit of water for smudging that color. We're not blending it. So we're just smudging it. The same thing we did for the headgear also. We added some lines over there. And also I'm going to use the same shade for giving an outline for the body so that it looks a little more prominent there. So now in the background over here I'm just going to make 3 images as if there are 3 person over there in the background which are really at a far away distance and we can see them really tiny, right? So just a little effect. So you just make a circle, a little body, a rectangular body, and that's it. So it should look as a silhouette in the background. So yes, as I said, once everything is done, I'm giving my final outline for the figure and see how beautiful this looks once you have that outline. So again, I'm saying work with a zero number brush and try to create as thin line as you can. Don't make it a really thicker line because that will not look good. So take a good amount of time, use a very thin brush and add that little outline around the body. So yes, just adding a little more texture here and there. If you see a little bit of white area anywhere, cover that up and see the painting is almost ready and it looks so good. It was so easy to prepare. So as I said earlier also, so this is for absolute beginners who are just starting with the acrylic colors. My younger children, all my little artists can try this. And once you're ready, you're going to share a picture of this drawing. You can share it with me on my WhatsApp number or on my Gmail address. So I hope all of you will enjoy creating this art. All right, so let's remove the masking tape and have a look at the final image, how it looks like. So also, oh yes, if you're working on a canvas, this I should have mentioned earlier. So if you're working on a canvas, you don't have to apply that masking tape. That's just for keeping my paper still on the table. I use that masking tape, and also whenever I work on an acrylic paper, I like those beautiful white clean borders around, so that's why the masking tape is my favorite whenever I'm working on a paper. All right, so here we go. This is the final picture, and it looks so good. And I just hope all of you are going to create this and get a very beautiful effect. Do share your final work with me, and those who are new to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to come up with more art tutorials over here, so let's stay connected. Click on the bell icon also, yes, so that you are not notified about all my upcoming videos. Okay, everyone, so this is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much for watching my video. Do like, share and subscribe.